to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show and the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex the Car Girl Rogeo, Hot Rod Bob Beck, plus Darr Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the studios of the West Coast Funny Car Factory, surprisingly not too far from the West Coast, it's Speed Scene Live, and your hosts tonight are Donnie Couch and Darr Hawthorne, brought to you by Good Vibrations Motorsports. And now your hosts, Darr Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Wow, Darr, star-studded show tonight, man.
I think there's way too much show tonight.
Right.
And, so I think we're just going to hang out right now. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hey, thanks to Good Vibrations right off the bat, and luckily they're supporting the show, which allowed us to have the budget to have Jack Beckman on. I mean,
Good Vibrations.
We don't get this big a star
Check
power
out the
too
new
often,
catalog.
right?
Check out the new catalog. Yeah, Jack's been doing a lot of very interesting things, like running the quickest, funny car passes in the world ever.
Well,
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
well, hey, good for them. Good group of people
Yeah.
over there with Jimmy Prock and John Medlin and Jack Beckman, one of the best ambassadors of the sport, and he's really good with the fans. We know how he drives, and that team is annihilating the competition.
And Kris Cunningham is another very important part of that. And I watched the NHRA show on ESPN2 this last weekend, and they had probably one of the best features that they've had, where they just sat down with Gary Gerald, sat down and talked with Jack and Medlin and Prock and Kris Cunningham, and just sort of talked about what was going on. It's the kind of things that probably would have kept the show on ESPN had they paid more attention to the show back in the old days.
Yes.
Like earlier this year.
Easy, Darr. When I talked about Tom Compton,
That's right. I forgot about that.
being lost and showed his face on a milk cart, and I was kind of banned from the show.
Well, and
thanks to the support of our fans and you rallying worldwide, getting me back on the show.
Made that petition.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And Tom Compton's gone, and I'm back. How's that?
And look who survived this whole thing was Donnie Couch.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think you got to get to this guy.
Jack
He's one of my
Beckman is
heroes.
on the phone.
I don't want to spoil your guys' conversation. It's going great. But, Donnie, were you intimating that you're not politically correct? Donnie Couch?
Once in a while. Well, Jack, as a national champion, media challenge champion, and you, the funny car champion, two champions talking together like this,
I think yours trumps mine because you are technically undefeated.
I'm undefeated, but Jack, see, I retired because I knew I could never do that again. You, my friend, have turned your whole program around over there.
I was wondering if I could ever do that again. It was 2.5 years without a Wally. It was a long dry spell, and Lord knows Jimmy, John, and Kris are helping me make up for lost time and then some now.
Well,
5 wins this year? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's off the charts. I never thought. I really... when the opportunity came late last year, when Don hired Jimmy Prock, and he put him on our car for the last 2 races of the season with no promises, Don had the right to use Jimmy on any of the teams that he elected to. I offered Jimmy bribes. I offered to wash his car, mow his lawn, do his wife's toenails, whatever it took, but I didn't know if I'd get to keep him for 2015. And then not only did I find out that was the case, but that John Medlin was also going to come over, and we were going to retain Kris Cunningham. It was like a triple Christmas at the Beckman household.
Yeah. Now, you guys supposedly are still running a 5-disc clutch, and everybody else is lost running the 6?
Don't say supposedly. You can come to our pits and count them when we take them out. We are absolutely running a 5-disc clutch. The Make-A-Wish car is the only other top 10 car that has continued to run a 5-disc. Now, a couple of the other teams have vacillated back and forth between 5 and 6 discs, but pretty much every other top 10 car has figured out how the 6-disc responds, and it is the better way to go in the long run.
And so why should you change now that it's working so well with a 5-disc?
Well, it's not why should we, it's that we can't. We might put in a 6-disc and be better. It's not worth the risk, because once we get into the countdown, the points become exponentially more important, assuming you're qualified for the countdown. Now, there are no throwaway races, but of the 2 races left, I'd give up Brainerd to win Indy, and remember, Indy's worth points and a half, and Indy includes the Traxxas shootout. So my point is where are you going to go figure out a 6-disc in that short amount of time? We've got what we've got, and we're confident it'll work down the stretch here.
Well, and you have so much consistency in that car now, and that's got to be a very, I mean, not that you had an issue with confidence before, but, that's got to be an incredible confidence builder to know that when you step on it, there's a really good chance you're going to make it to the top end in, 4 seconds or less.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive with the Nitro Funny Car. When you're running the quick times, nearly always, that means you're on the edge and you have a higher chance of not making it to the finish line. And when you're running middle of the pack times, typically it gives you a better chance to make it to the finish line. And our car's running by far the quickest times, and a percentage of runs that make it to the finish line, we're doing better than everybody else right now, too. So what that trio has figured out has not only made us more consistent, it's made us significantly quicker.
Quicker. That's an understatement, Jack. Hey, I got a question, maybe a technical question. The nitrous that you guys are you using a button on the steering wheel, or is it actually on a timer?
No, it's an RPM actuated deal.
Hey, because you guys are driving John Force nuts over there. He's like having a mental breakdown on TV over there, and it's...
Well, it's got to be tough. I mean, if you think about it, that guy's got all the records for Funny Car. 142 wins, and he's, 97 more than Ron Capps, who's second all-time. I mean, it's unbelievable what John's done. He's a self-made guy. He created that entire empire himself, and he's used to being the top dog. And the last 10 years, a lot of the teams have closed the gap on that. Don Schumacher Racing started creating a lot of its own technology and getting closer and closer to the JFR cars. In the last 6 or 7 years, we've kind of traded the championships back and forth. And, oh, boy, man, this year to see one team go that far ahead, and it has to be tough knowing that the chief tuner on that team used to be your tuner. I get it. I mean, if I were him, it would be tough to deal with. But let's face it, we all know John Force. He's going to figure this deal out and be right back up there pretty quick.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you that watching the show at home, great coverage. Robert Haidt sat up there in the booth with the announcers and Mike Dunn and all, and he's very professional about it, very respectful about it. I know that's just John Force when he goes off and rants and raves, but like Robert Haidt said, you guys, kudos to you guys, and he was very positive about it, and he explained that they'll be back. They're fighters. They didn't build that whole empire over there by not running good. Teams have ups and downs, and you guys have hit your stride finally. Like I said, 2.5 years without a win or a Wally. That's kind of hard to believe, Jack, but I guess it's true.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a time machine, you'd love to go back in time and change that. Nobody wants to. I had finished in the top 5 every year I drove a Funny Car. I didn't even finish in the top 10. Didn't win a single event. In 2013, I did finish 3rd, and I did win the Traxxas shootout. But 2014, 11th place, 0 trophies. And that's tough because since I started bracket racing in 89, I'm not sure on 88, I can't remember back that far, I've won at least one race a year. That was 25 years at the end of the streak right there. I'd love to go back and change it, but I can't. But by God, I wouldn't trade that for an average year this year. So, okay.
Yeah, wow. I mean, and with all of Schumacher's health issues he had earlier this year, that's got to be some of the best medicine for him. He's got to be, he doesn't show much emotion, and they don't interview him quite as much as we want him to, but he's got to be pumped.
You know, Donnie, I'm sorry. My little non sequitur okay there was not me being done with the statement. It was my 4-year-old wandering out of the bathroom saying she pee-peed herself and me having to do
That's okay. Donnie just did, too.
a potty check there.
I did. I pee-peed myself when I saw that 391.
Yeah, you know, I tried to tell. I said, Layla, I'm the fastest funny car driver on the planet. She says, I don't care, Dad. I still peed my pants.
Change me, Daddy.
Hey, Jack, can you explain the Infinite Hero project that you're carrying on the side? I mean, that's a pretty unique project and really benefits a very different segment of the charity community.
Well, Infinite Hero Foundation was something that Oakley several years ago said, you know, there's 40,000 nonprofits out there to help our returning injured veterans. Let's do it in a better way. Instead of starting our own programs, which cost money, hiring an administration board that costs money, let's do it with grants. In other words, the money we raise, let's pick pre-existing programs that we feel offer the most bang for the buck, issue them grants, and they will be in charge of every penny of that. They will be accountable for that, and every dime has to go towards the cause. They can't use any of it for their overhead fees there. And then they hired one person on payroll, and the rest of the Infinite Hero Foundation grant board is all volunteers. Megan Schumacher sits on the board, and they tried to mix former military and civilian people to get different perspectives and think outside of the box. I went last year to Dallas, where we issued a $100,000 grant to the Brain Treatment Center. And a lot of times when you're involved in fundraisers, it makes you feel good that you had some effort to raise money. A lot of times when you hand money to an organization, it makes you feel good that you donated. But you really don't know where that money goes. So I watched where that money went. We gave that grant to the Brain Treatment Center. Then I went there for a week in Newport Beach because I wanted to see what that money did. And 4 of the employees at the Brain Treatment Center are former military members that suffered from post-traumatic stress, and the very treatment that they give to other veterans now is what turned their lives around. So how can you not believe in a program like that? And that's just one of the things that the Infinite Hero Foundation funds with their grants there. So every run I take, I'm packing 20 now because we've had some great weekends raising funds. I take these military-style, they call them challenge coins, with me in the funny car. And when I get done with the run, I take them out of the car, and any fan that donates $100 to Infinite Hero, I'll sign it. It comes in a little display box, and I'll hand it to them. And it's pretty cool because last year we did $70,000 in those coins. My goal was $20,000. We did $70,000. So this year we have a little bit loftier of goals, but we average, you know, $4,000, $5,000 a race. Sonoma and Seattle, over $20,000 in coins. And I think we've just reached that tipping point where the awareness is getting better and the performance of our cars certainly not hurt the sales. But Infinite Hero doesn't use a dime of the funds to fund the race team. Terry Chandler, who completely funds the Make-A-Wish car, which beat us, and I'm very upset at them for doing that, but she completely picks up every operational expense for those 2 race teams and gives those cars to Make-A-Wish and Infinite Hero to use to raise funds. So our big goal out there with the car, I mean, aside from winning races, is to raise the funds with the challenge coins and online donations and to increase the awareness of Infinite Hero so that when people do want to do something to help the injured veterans coming back, that might be one of the first organizations they consider.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Now, you've got, recently you did earlier this year, you did an interview with Dave Despain, which is going to start airing, I believe, this weekend, August 16th?
You know what's cool about that is when Dave and I sat down, it was either right before or right after Pomona, and it really wouldn't have mattered. If he interviewed me right before Pomona, I hadn't won in 2.5 years. If he interviewed me right after Pomona, we didn't even qualify at that race. But I was very optimistic because I felt like we had incredible potential to do things with this car and this crew. But who would have known that we're not even through with the regular part of the season? We've already won 5 races, been in 6 finals, ran the 3 quickest runs in history, and set the national record. I thought it was going to be great. I just didn't know it was going to be this great. So it'll be interesting now to watch that Despain special with the insight of knowing that was filmed before we'd ever even qualified for a race this year.
And it's a good show. In fact, I had sent an early link to watch it online, and good show and very informative. And I wish Dave Despain was on every night instead of occasionally once a week. It's
what I like
rather
about
frustrating.
Dave is he's clearly a car guy that loves all forms of motorsports, and he gives drag racing its due diligence. I think sometimes we're the stepchild of motorsports on some of the bigger networks, but Despain really gets how professional and the potential for the NHRA drag racing.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with the rest of the season, and especially with Indy. And this is a banner year for you. Congratulations.
Hey, Donnie, can I invite you? I am actually flying up to Boise with the family tomorrow, and I'm going to drive my buddy Dick Vandermeer's Super Comp car in that 4-day Nightfire Nationals up at Firebird. You can bring your unblemished record up there if you want. We'll throw you in for a day.
Well, I mean, do you need me to coach you, Jack? Because I'm there for you. Yeah. You saw what I did at the Media Challenge.
Dude, I don't even remember what a trans brake button does anymore.
Right?
And I don't know how I'm going to suit myself up, strap myself in, or back myself up from burnout. I haven't had to do that for 4 years.
Well, Jack, you're very busy all the time. We're very proud of what you've done. I see a different side of you at these events where you're speaking and you're out there in front of everybody. You're a real historian of all these drivers, and you give everybody the recognition and the kudos. I have so much respect for you for what you do aside from driving.
Well, I'm flattered that those guys even know me. Up at Seattle, Gary Beck came over and was chatting with me. He goes, you just beat my national event win total. And I said, Gary, I'm not a hair on your backside. I mean, these guys were my heroes growing up, and the fact that I've become friends with so many of them. I'll see Roland Leong this weekend at Firebird. It's amazing. And the fact I get a paycheck to do this, I'm in seventh heaven.
Hey, I'll see you up there. Why don't you come over to the racer party over at the Hampton Inn and Suites on Thursday night?
And see if my wife lets me.
Oh, come on. It's not that debauchery over there.
Maybe I'll bring her.
I mean, Ed Jones will be there, so it's got to be pretty safe.
I'll keep her away from Ed.
And if you're struggling up there, Jack, you can call me at home, and I'll
right on, guys.
I'll guide you through
it. Talking to you guys, and I know you guys got a huge fan base now. So thanks to everybody that's tuned in.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
Thank you, Jack, for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Wow, what a great guy, huh?
Man, he's
always taking his time out and giving back to the sport. I mean, you see him at all these functions. He's driving that car up there in Boise, and the guy just don't give up. But it's always
the Blackbird car that he drove.
Oh yeah,
and then he ran Sifka for a bunch of years.
Yeah,
it's like
great guy. He actually helped me on Turner's car a little bit, and we'll get into that with Chris Krabill later on why he was helping us. Hey, you got somebody that's
speaking of the IHRA,
right? The champs.
We got Jason Rupert on the phone. Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm standing right on the starting line, right behind the Christmas tree at Martin, Michigan.
Man, you had a pretty good weekend up there, putting some IHRA dollars in your pocket.
Well, I mean, it was a good weekend. We got lucky a couple times, and it, we don't really get much luck. We have to race every time, and my guys did a great job. And man, oh man, it's a dream come true to come out here and be able to tour. I mean, it just I'm an alcohol funny car guy, and you aren't able to do that with that car, and it's a dream come true. So.
Hey, Jason, are you running a pedal clutch in that car now? I know you've been switching back and forth.
I mean, it's. I don't really think there's much of a performance advantage to it, but I think that there's a reaction time advantage to it.
Right.
And it was a lot of work. Trust me, it's still not right. And I mean, I go up there hoping to God the thing ain't gonna drop a cylinder every time I stage it. And man,
right.
It's just it's not an easy thing. And Peter Gallen knows about it, and Dell and Chad Head know about it.
Yeah, but running a 555. I mean, running a 555 up there. I mean, the weather had to be perfect, the air had to be perfect, and so many things had to, all the planets had to align. But that's a hell of a run, and now you're going to figure out how to run the pedal clutch. What the hell are you going to be running for the next couple of races?
Well, I mean, it's not about running the pedal clutch; it's about consistency. And Frank Bradley and my dad, Frank Rupert, and they're pretty frank. For sure, but I mean, they pretty much told me, a glide's always been pretty much a crew chief's clutch, and a pedal clutch is more of a driver's clutch. And basically, it's super sensitive. I mean, the barrel valve's sensitive. I mean, it just, Donnie, I mean, shoot, you adjust the barrel valve a quarter of a flat, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to deal with,
Well, Jason, what's been good is, we know that you run good out here, and you've had some great runs at Bakersfield and all out here on the West Coast. But to see you go back there and mix it up, a lot of these cars that you're running against, we don't see them on the West Coast, and there's some strong runners back there, and that's some pretty stiff competition. It's no cakewalk for you.
My dad told me a long time ago, he mentioned the Assassin, and it was a funny car you raced,
Guzman and Decker, man, on the Denver, Colorado.
He said that thing showed up the racetrack at sea level, and it was the stoutest son of a bitch ever, right?
Right.
And these guys back here, and up in high altitude tracks, I mean, they know how to make horsepower there. And you come down to sea level, you detune your stuff, you make more horsepower than you ever made.
Right.
And I'm going from the opposite spectrum to where the air never changes, and coming back here, dew point. I mean, gosh, I've never learned so much in my whole life on tune-up by being a stupid ass guy from California, thinking it's always the same. Coming back here and going, wow, man, these guys really try hard. It's hard to keep the cylinders lit. It's.
Well, that's what a lot of fans
know?
don't realize, that humidity back there. Sometimes when you're racing, it's 100 degrees out and the humidity is 98%. So a lot of moisture in there. So you got to change the tune-up in your car, the timing, the compression, and those guys run back there every week. So they're ready for you. They're gunning for you anyway, champ.
Man, oh man, it's kind of weird, I kind of like to get along with everyone, and I kind of always said that, my dad taught me right, and he pretty much said that friendship's worth more than anything. And I'm meeting a lot of great people, and we're having a blast. My kid is back here. He's been driving the golf cart. He pretty much knows, Martin, Michigan, probably better than any track he even knows any place in the whole world. He's 8 years old, and these guys really take pride in their track. And the Jason, the guy that runs the track, I remember his name because that's easy to remember for me. But his kid's 13 years old, and he's running around on a tractor, man, and this kid knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And, he delivered my oil to me, and it's just an awesome place,
Those guys.
Detroit area, as far as I'm concerned, everyone says that, California is the hotbed of drag racing, and it is. It was. It's not now. But, man, think about all the stuff that's came out of the Michigan area.
Right. There's some stout cars.
Unbelievable.
How about the Bowen family? They're pretty stout in that nostalgia series.
Hey, they were, trust me, that final round, they were running away from me. I mean, that thing ran, almost 207 at half track. I was like 202 or something. And, I mean, I looked out the side window, and I was done. I'm like, holy shit, man, that car's hauling ass, And, unfortunately, they blew it up. And fortunately for us, I think we beat them by a foot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's another great family to be racing with back there, and they build their own cars. Some of the nicest assembled cars I've ever seen, as far as all, the chassis they build, they mount the bodies, the tin work, the tanks. That whole Bowen family, man, is very crafty, and it's good to see them run good. But, hey, it's good to see you back there mixing it up, though, Jason.
Hey, you know what? I want to bring this championship back to California.
That'd be nice.
We're still on the lower side, even though the points say that we're doing good. But the McIntyre family and the Sanders family and Bruce Litton and Romine, I mean, all these guys we're racing with are just such fantastic people.
Class acts, too, all of them.
I'm really, really a lucky guy to be able to, to hang with these guys. So,
hey, one of the things when we were up in when I was up in Mission and I was talking with not in Mission in Edmonton when I was at the IHRA race up there, one of the things you'd said is that you just put in a new Brad motor, that a new Brad Anderson motor. Then it was the first one that you'd had since 2005, I think. The first new motor.
I mean, it's pretty much a new generation block, and Andre, who runs the block repair deal over there, we talked a lot about it because, unfortunately, it seems like the rules are being made and people are just disregarding the rules and on a lot of different things. And Andre pretty much told me this is the best I can do within the rule package, and it is a very nice piece. I mean, it is beefed up in certain areas. It's it's unbelievable. And unfortunately, we kind of wounded the thing a little bit, on the last run, and I probably should have shut it off, but I was a dumbass driver, and I didn't.
Hey, it doesn't say that, though, when you got that trophy,
Or the check.
Yeah.
And besides that, Andre's probably one of the best guys to repair a block, and that whole Brad Anderson group out there is fantastic, so you'll be back in business.
Shoot, I'll tell you what, we've been running the Lucas Oil Blue Thunder stuff, and we finally got a new motor, that was the clearances were all right and everything. And I mean, the thing actually gained like 27 pounds of oil pressure with not doing anything.
Man.
And, it just, when I put a motor together, and it's like a crown jewel to me, I don't want to hurt it.
Yeah, it's your baby.
Yeah, it is my baby, and, you want to hear a quick Jack Beckman story real fast?
Yeah. Sure.
This is funny, actually.
Are you going to talk about him using nitrous?
No.
Okay.
No. Brent Cannon, Brent,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He's really good friends with my parents, and I, remember the Punky Kid?
Yeah.
He introduced Jack Beckman to my mom and dad and me, and he told me, and my mom and dad, this guy's going to go someplace. I really have a feeling, So, he's driving that Blackbird deal, which has a canopy on it and stuff, which I think all draggers should. If it was up to me, I'd put monostrut wings and canopies on all the dragsters because it's just so cool, right?
Yeah.
Garlitz had his shit together back then.
Way back then.
Anyways, Jack, we're at Whitman, Arizona, or not Whitman, Arizona. Who's the guy that owns that track? He's an old guy. Anyways, you know where I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't recall it either, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a pretty famous guy. I'll remember it as soon as I hang up. Anyways, we're sitting there we had to race. We broke the wheelie bar on the start on the way to the deal because we bottomed out, and obviously it was going to break. Thank God it broke there. But we pull up, and the car won't start. And they pulled the mag clip off it. The car won't start. And Richard Corbett Sr., there were two of them, Richard Corbett Jr. and Richard Corbett Sr. Well, anyways, Corbett Sr. was pulling the mag wire off the thing. And it's a horrible thing that I did, but I just wanted to hear the car start in its first round. So I said, just hold it on there. And, man, he held it on there. You should have seen his face, man. I thought his eyeballs were going to pop out of his head. So anyways, here's what happened next, right? Jack was there, and he had a red fire suit on, and before he was a superstar, which I'm just messing with him there because he's never really changed.
He's always been a superstar.
But yeah,
right. Just talk to him.
Well, yeah. He talks a little bit more than most people. I'm talking a lot right now, so. But anyways, I love him to death. And dude, he stripped the wires with his teeth and clamped the damn thing on. I did a burnout, but I couldn't get the tires dried up, and I smoked the tires at the head. But let me tell you one thing. Jack Beckman ripped the damn wire stuff off with his teeth. and I thought to myself, I go, that's a hell of a racer right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm
And he
sorry for
is.
cussing. That's what I thought,
That's
right?
cool.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, me
one
and
of a
Jack
kind
are pretty
guy.
good pals. We just don't get to see each other too much, you know. But
Well, it's
I don't know.
hey, good luck this weekend. You got the Grand Bend race, right?
Yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to try to do good.
Good.
So,
Well, good luck to you. I hope you put another $10,000 IHRA check in your pocket, and we'll be up at Boise, up at Firebird for the night fires, and I think we might have 6 cars there. Which is, you know, if you decide you want to come over and slum for a little bit and come on over with us, come on out and come on down. It'll help fill out the field. All right.
You know, honestly, I mean, I really miss everyone, you know, that we race with.
Well, not everyone misses
know,
you out here.
Why is that?
Because you're always taking the trophy. What do you mean, why is that? You're a badass.
Hey, you know what, man? I can get beat just as anyone much as anyone else.
But not quite
You
as
guys
often.
know that.
Well, hey, we're very proud of you coming out of the alcohol ranks, and glad
Southern
you came,
California.
Glad you came over here to Nostalgia Funny Car. You've proven yourself as a champion contender and a champion, and we wish you luck this weekend. And we really thank you for calling in for the show, Jason, and good luck to you. And I probably won't see you to the reunion, but I know you'll be doing good out there.
I hope so, man. That's always a place we try really hard to do something, and it just always seems to, I don't know, you know, maybe I tried too hard or something. I don't know.
Keep it up.
But
Keep it up. All right, we'll see. I'll see you in San Antonio, and thanks a lot for calling in. I really appreciate it.
right on, guys. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Take care, man.
Likewise, buddy. Take care and good luck. Wow.
Okay, bye.
Bye. What a great guy, huh, Darr?
Man.
Oh, that hang on to that wire story reminds me of it's a high school shop class tale, you know, where
Right.
you're spinning a magneto. Here, hang on to this. Ah!
Yeah, you
Hey,
put
Bruce.
the wires in your mouth.
Bruce, I think we got to pay some bills, but everyone's calling in about your arm there.
Oh, yeah, my busted wing. You know, it's getting better every day, man. I shouldn't have, you know.
See, he's got it on. He's actually suing Playboy for carpal tunnel, so we don't know the whole story.
That's a way better story than what I had, which was closer to the truth, but not quite as fun. So, hey, Darr, you're holding up one of our fine sponsors'
The
catalogs.
Good Vibrations catalog. Call them up and order it. And now we got a word from Good Vibrations and Air Motive.
Hi, I'm Bobby Boogaloo Schwartz, and when I'm not winning here at Industry Speedway, I'm watching Speed Scene Live.
Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com.
$60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all-American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com.
Well, you never know who's going to call in when Donnie and I are on, and I planned on Kris Krabill, but look who else was called in. It's Robert Overholser, and we're just going to stick them together because they're going to be racing against each other this weekend.
They're both on together?
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to get nasty.
Hey, come on.
It's going to get juicy. As long as we don't meet at the porta potties again.
Yeah, I got a great picture of them doing arm high fives going to the porta potty in Salt Lake City.
Nice.
Classic photo. It's going to be it'll be on the Funny Car calendar for next year.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Krabill, where you at? You're already in Boise, I heard. I talked to Mike O'Brien just a while ago. He's still up on the lake. Said he'd be coming in on Thursday on the airplane. So, you all ready for this weekend? That hot rod's come around. You're running some 570s and starting to get some performance gains.
Yeah, no, the car's running great, and yeah, I wish I was up there with the O'Briens. Montana's a beautiful place, but yeah, Bucky and all the guys got the car just hauling ass right now. So we're coming into a track where I love this track, and so I hope for a good weekend. That's what we're striving for.
Well, there should be 6 or 7 cars there that are all pretty damn competitive, and this should be a awful lot of fun, and particularly the racer party on Thursday night is going to be a whole lot of fun.
You keep mentioning that party.
Well, it's because you can't go, Donnie.
Is there a race or a party? I mean, what are you guys going up there for?
And then there's a race, and then there's another party, and then
Yeah, okay.
That's how it is at Boise, right, Robert?
That's right. Always a party.
I wasn't invited.
Hey, you're invited. All you got to do is make it there.
Oh, the Jet's getting service this weekend.
Yeah. Fill up, Donnie.
Robert, of course, driver of the California Hustler, crew chief Ronnie Swearingen. You guys are getting your bugs all worked out there, and the car's starting to get performance gains yourself.
Yeah, actually, Ronnie's done a real good job, man. He's making leaps and bounds with this car, and we've set the mile-an-hour top speed of the meet last 3 races. So he's getting this thing figured out pretty good.
Well, if you're making that kind of mile an hour, the horsepower's there. It's just a matter of getting it all dialed in. And Ronnie, it took him a while to get Horan's car running. And once he did, nobody could beat him, and he won the championship with him. And things take time, so you got one of the best guys out there.
We're pretty excited. The new family, they did such a great job on that track. We underestimated it last time we went out there back in April.
Yeah.
And the track's actually really, really good. So we're expecting to do pretty good this weekend.
Now, what about Krabill? I know you don't worry about him because you say he doesn't have cut good lights. So
Well,
any other drivers you're worried about up there?
No, Kris is a great driver, and I treat every driver the same. I go up there and just run my own race, and I'm sure it's going to be a pretty good race for the fans.
Well, I'm a big fan of yours, Robert, but Kris and I got some history together, winning the championship, and went undefeated one year. And I was amazed at his driving in any car he's been in.
And that's the thing. See, Kris told me that he won that championship and had nothing to do with you.
Look at this, Donnie.
I'll see him at the Hot Rod reunion, Robert. He knows not to mess with me.
He's trying to play mental games here. He's trying to get in my head.
Well, you guys do have to finish off the Salt Lake City race in qualifying up there. So, I mean, you guys got to meet for the semis, and then the winner of that goes on to take on Richard Townsend for the final in the Salt Lake City Heritage Race. So, that should be an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, that's exciting. We both have a chance to double up here and get some good points going on. What happened in Salt Lake was kind of a weird deal. It was sunny in the next second, and the next thing I know, I'm backing up from my burnout, and it's hailing, So, so it's going to be a pretty exciting weekend, that's for sure.
And by the time Richard hit the top end, he was getting rain on his windshield, so it was over. I got a photo someplace of this giant black wall of clouds with the staging lanes and nice and bright sun, but behind it is this black wall.
What a great place. That Salt Lake track,
it's a great place.
Boise, Bakersfield. And you guys get to run at some of the best tracks and some of the best promoters out there. So, man, the weather, you can't control that.
Yeah, it is. We have a good time when we do it, too. I mean, we're all competitors, but at the end, we're all really good friends, too, just like family.
Yep, that's the truth. And nothing but respect for those guys over there. And like Robert said, it's going to be a great race. And, we'll both be on our games. And look out. It's going to be a great race for the fans. So
hey, watch out.
I'm excited.
And watch out for Mark Metters sneaking up behind you.
Yeah, Mark Metters, actually, they're doing a really good job. They ran their first 5-second number in the altitude up there, so that's a well-funded team there. So we can't ever count them out. Richard Townsend, you can't count him out. He always runs pretty strong. So, like I said, it's going to be a tough field, and I'm just happy to be in the hunt for the Salt Lake thing too. So hopefully we can double it up.
Hey, Robert.
Not over my body.
No.
Go ahead.
Let's throw Denchik in the mix, too.
Hey, let's get a cage match going.
Robert might win on that one, but I'm going to try to beat him on the track. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what? I know you'll win to the race to the porta potties.
Oh, yeah. Krabill.
Hey, man, I had to go. What can I say?
Man.
He did beat me, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a foot race, too.
Hey, we'll get into that later. This is a family show, guys.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in, you guys. I'll see both of you later this week, and this should be a pretty fun weekend. We'll know what the points are on Sunday night. It should be a big shift one way or the other. It's pretty cool.
Hey, and Robert, I'll see you on the starting line, buddy.
Ooh.
I'll see you there, bud.
Hey, don't forget he got his practice tree too.
Hey, good luck to both. Good luck to both of you guys, man. We're appreciate you guys calling in the show, and I'm a fan of both you guys.
Thanks, guys,
for having us. It's always a pleasure.
All right, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Wow, that's a pretty good little lineup tonight, Darr, with all these drivers, all these champions. And,
not bad at all. I mean, the really great thing is that whether it's and I hate to use the word nostalgia, whether it's sort of this classic funny car that we watch, and IHRA has banned the word nostalgia from their style guide, so that they're just called Nitro Funny Cars, which I think is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever, they've got a body that fits within a certain period from 65 to 79, and the interpretations of those bodies, whatever. A lot of us grew up with those, but the kid who's in his teens or 20s or early 30s never saw those cars run. So the only thing that's nostalgic about them is what we're calling them. So Nitro Funny Cars are kicking ass.
Yeah, well, Darr, I got to get a mention here to Good Vibrations Motorsports, because they're sponsoring the IHRA, the Bakersfield, all these races. Of course, they help out with our show here, and they've really made it exciting for all these Nitro Funny Cars, if you want to call them. I call them nostalgia funny cars. So. Well,
and one of the other things, Airmotive also helps us, put this show on the air, and Airmotive is carrying over their $2,500 contingency for the California Hot Rod Reunion. If you're running an Airmotive nostalgia pump and you win the California Hot Rod Reunion this year, there's a $2,500 check if you have purchased your Airmotive pump from Good Vibrations Motorsports.
You know what, Darr? That's
a hell of a number.
That's a hell of a number, and I'm seeing those pumps on more and more cars.
Bucky's got one now.
Yeah, well, okay, he's running 570, so kind of let out the secret there, Darr.
He ran a 60 up at Spokane.
Yeah, well, you're giving away a speed secret. It's that Airmotive pump, but hey, great product, great company, and a great owner.
Absolutely. And Steve Matusik was runner-up at the IHRA race this weekend. I think he had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
This is pretty tight community and a bunch of really great people. And you know what? I think we've got time for one more commercial.
I think you're right.
I think we owe it from the last show when we ran 46 minutes over.
We got to pay it forward, or
that's it.
Oh, we're paying it back.
That way we don't. Well, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Pay the bills, Bruce.
All righty, in that case, let's do it right here at Speed Scene Live. It's Darr Hawthorne, Donnie Couch, I'm Bruce Barker, and we're going to be right back with more right here at Speed Scene Live.
If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready at goodvibesracing.com. For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Overholser, driver of the California Hustler, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFote.com.
You know, Donnie, we just had a commercial in there for M&H Tires, and I brought in some photos of the car that you helped us on. You helped build the fuel system.
Yeah, your son's car.
The Model A. Model A 5-window coupe. It's a 1930.
Is that the one Bob Beck appraised for $130,000?
That's close.
Close.
Yeah.
Minus $124,000.
It's all steel body. It's on a bitchin' TCI chassis. Which if anybody's ever going to build a hot rod, order a TCI chassis. Your body will fit it every time. An amazing piece. And it's a 355 small block Chevy with Hillborn mechanical fuel injection.
What are those crazy velocity stacks on?
Well, that's part of the Hillborn fuel injection.
God, that's cool.
And it's got a pretty cool little moon tank there that's fed from an Aeromotive Phantom pump out of an in-tank pump, which feeds an Aeromotive regulator, and then into a Holly float bowl on the backside of that little can there, which gravity feeds the Hillborn pump.
Wow.
And
nice.
So it's information that came out of an old hot rod magazine from 1976, I think, on how to set these up for the street.
Yeah, I remember we were putting it together.
Yeah, I was like,
looking at that old mag. I was afraid to rip the page.
So you had to just then set it up. You had to source the parts, obviously.
Yeah, all of. Very good line there, Bruce, from Good Vibrations Motorsports.
Yeah.
Oh, fell into that one.
Yeah. Thanks for the tee up on that one. And
in this case, an A up.
Halbrand 18-inch spoked wheels on the front, spindle mounts with no front brakes, and on the back there are those bitchin' M&H tires.
Nice.
They're just the right profile. They ride great. They're unbelievable. And I would suggest if you are building a car for the street, they are just, the bite is great. They ride great. I mean, it is a super tire from M&H.
Man, it's the perfect stance for that car too. Look at that.
That's right. It's looking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, or with the amber windows and open top. I see these guys with closed tops. It's like, man, I would feel totally claustrophobic if I had to sit in that car with a real roof on it. Not that we're ever going to go drive it in the rain, but
well, we were talking about this before the show started. Humans are like a foot taller than they were when they built these cars.
Yeah, believe me. I have to bind my feet before I can get in.
That's like some weird ancient Chinese torture.
Absolutely.
I have to bind my feet.
But yeah, that's we're Zach and I are having a lot of fun with it, and it's still figuring out how to run the fuel injection on the street, because you're not supposed to do that, and everybody from Hillborn to Enderley to everybody else says, "Are you kidding? You're trying to run that on the street?" Well, yeah, it can be done. You just got to make some compromises on both ends of the spectrum, but it's we're real pleased. 6 years of work on it, all done in our own shop, and steel body, doors from one car, cowl from another car, quarter panels from a different car, roof and from another car, 4 different cars to make up that steel body. So it's
gorgeous, man.
If you see it around, come by and say hi. We were out at Pomona this weekend, and it's funny because the guys who are over 50 go, "Wow, mechanical fuel injector," and the other guys who are younger go walking right by it. So, so Donnie brought a bunch of videos from. He's been spending virtually every Wednesday night out at Industry Hill Speedway, watching the Speedway races, which is just a fantastic place. If you haven't been out here in Southern California, you got to get out to that place.
And one of the best facilities around. It's on a Wednesday night, breaks up the week, and you know what? Kind of sad. There's only 3 races left. 1 tomorrow, and we got the sidecars. Next week, the 19th, we got the Legends of Speedway signing autographs for everybody, and the state championships will be on the 26th. So 3 races. Check them out at industryracing.com. And we just ran the AMA, the round 3 of the AMA championship there on Saturday, and we got an interview with Billy Janniro. We're going into the main event, buddy. What lane you going to take here?
We chose gate 2 here today. Gate 1 ain't all that great, and gate 4 is just a little too far out there for me right now. I think I can make it out of gate 2 and be okay, so we chose gate 2.
Aside for the big event tonight for the AMA, how about your daughter riding, man? That looks pretty cool, and a pretty proud dad.
Yeah, awesome. Our first race was last night. I mean, what a Janniro, her first 2 races ever back to back, you know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. Pretty happy dad.
Well, wish you luck in the main event. I know you don't need it, but we'll see you in the winner's circle.
Always.
You're my pick. How's it looking out here tonight?
Track conditions are a little tricky, and we're just out here making the best of it.
Well, you and your brother look pretty good out there riding side by side on a couple of those heats, so I know you got a tough one coming up with Janniro and Venegas and all them, but you're holding your own.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody is. It's a tough night. Everybody's fast, and on a track like this, it's game on. You got to race it and see what happens.
All right. Hey, Max Romo, man. The up-and-coming kids are coming at you. The main event here, the AMA, round 3 of 4 events coming up for the championship. You have got Max Romo on the pole, Billy Janniro, number 2, Charlie Venegas checking the track out, and Aaron Fox going to try to come from the outside here tonight, folks. It's your main event, Industry Hills, a special AMA Saturday night race here. Here we go. They're pulling him into the gates. Billy Janniro is going to be hard to beat. Here they go. We're clear. Janniro, Fox, Rommel. Janniro, Fox, Rommel, Venegas. Janniro, Fox, Rommel, Venegas. What a main event we got here tonight, folks. Fox sticking his nose in there. 1 lap to go as a white flag comes out here. Nobody's going to beat Billy Janniro tonight. He's been tough all night. He's gone undefeated. Billy Janniro, round 3 winner of the AMA Nationals here in Industry Hills. Well, my friend, round 3 of 4 coming up. I don't think you need to go to the 4th event, do you?
I might just show up and do a couple races and have some fun.
Hey, nobody can beat you, buddy. You're awesome. But let me tell you, what's fun to watch is the respect you guys have for each other and riding around, putting on a show after the races for the crowd out there.
That shows you how much fun we have doing this, and we're all friends at the end of the day. So it makes it a lot easier to do stuff, Makes it more fun.
We got a first-time rider here at Industry Hills.
Hey, you want to say hi to the TV?
I don't know how she is on her interview, but if she's got that Janniro blood in her, she's going to have to get used to doing some interviews.
Hey, you ain't going to talk to her. She's the most shy little girl in the world, man.
Hey, Billy Janniro, champion tonight, as always here at Industry Hills. Billy, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Great event, and his daughter rode for the first time. She's real young. They got 5 different classes out there in the youths, and it's just incredible to watch. It's fun. You got a bar in turn 2. You got tacos. You got live music there before the races, and come on out and have a good time out there.
Dang, man. But you say the season's almost over. I'm just saying I haven't gotten out there this season.
Yeah, 3 races left, so you better come out there, Bruce. Huh?
Come on, Bruce.
We can get you like a medical parking or something with your arm, or a handicap. We'll get you in a golf cart or a walker or something.
I still have a handicap placard from when I snapped my leg a couple of years ago, but I think it expires. It's one of those red ones.
Oh yeah,
you can't mess
probably
around
good.
with that stuff.
You're going to get busted.
Yeah.
That's a revenue source in the state of California.
Yeah.
Is it hanging in the Mustang?
No. Everything else is hanging.
I know. Yeah.
There's an overhead console that's got like transmission temperatures. Oh yeah, I trailer a lot of.
You need that in Alaska.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of overeating going.
If you look at that car, it's still got the plug-in motor heater from the.
Oh yeah.
It's still the extension cord's hanging out the front.
I sure saw a lot of those up in Edmonton for the IHRA race up there. I'm walking along the parking lot. What are they? They've all got AC plugs hanging out of the grill. What the hell?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It's so funny, man.
Like, well, yeah, it never happens in Southern California. Why?
Yeah, we don't think about that.
Why on earth would you have that?
I know. Unless it's a Nissan Leaf or something.
There you go.
It's a different
Nissan Leaf.
Hey, I wanted to mention one little plug here for somebody else who's on Speed Scene is Alex Rogeo, and she's got a thing called Through the Visor, which she's a contestant in, and if you go to throughthevisor.bellracing.com, you can find her page and vote for her, watch her video, and see if she is worthy of your support. But please take the time to go over there and see what she's doing. It's a nice sponsorship deal for next year from Bell Racing.
Yeah, so through the visor.bellracing.com. And, of course, we got to give props. She's a Speed Scene co-host. But, I still remember this hero card, Donnie Couch.
Yeah, what surprised me is she still racing, because I thought after I beat her at the Media Challenge, she had retired and was kind of humiliated. We hadn't seen her around.
No, and you raced her in the final, right?
Well, yeah, I think that was her in the other lane. I never look over there. I just...
You run your own race.
Run my deal. I came back, got the trophy, signed autographs for Jack Beckman. He wanted my picture taken with me.
Jeff Arend was there too.
Right, Jeff Arend, my hero. Yeah. It's hard being the champion, but somebody's got to do it.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's got to represent Speed Scene Live with the trophy.
It's lonely at the top.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and we still got to get the hero cards printed.
Alex is a good sport. She's a great driver, and not
too
bad to look at either.
She wasn't that day, but she was runner-up.
Every dog has his day. Exactly. Look at Beckman, went 2.5 years without winning.
That's right.
So she's got that axe.
But Donnie just runs his own race. He doesn't pay attention to who's in the other lane. That's it. He's focused and centered on that lane.
I had my eyes shut, Darr.
And by the way, if you
it
can't...
looked like they were open. Oh, that's right. You had the visor down. How could we tell?
Yeah, through the visor.
Through the visor at bellhelmets.com.
Donnie Couch.
It was a fun day. Frank Holly's drag racing school.
Lot of fun.
And Darr, you were there. And, there was a bunch of us out there, the media. And I just, luckily, because I'd never driven before, I breezed right through the field.
Well, you know, if you can't read the fine text at the bottom of the screen, Tom Mongoose McEwen says, of course he's a natural. I raised him. And, of course, the Snake Prudhomme says, it just goes to show you that anybody can do it.
Right?
That's a ringing endorsement.
That's a Don Prudhomme statement. We're going to see him Saturday, the little get-together, McEwen, Prudhomme, and all the legends of NHRA. So we'll have a little, maybe I'll take my camera down there and we'll put the microphone in front of him. But,
and you better do your Snake impression, because that's one of the
that's my staple.
Particularly when you do it next to him, because he just
we're gonna have
character.
to pull that out. We had that on there in Speed Scene, and
That's right. No, because smoking cigars. No, I ain't kidding you, kid. What's happening?
My hero, Don Prudhomme.
Hey, don't forget this weekend we got the race up at Firebird Raceway, the Nightfire Nationals, the 346th Nightfire Nationals, and they've got the race at Grand Bend this weekend for IHRA. So NHRA's got a week off. So this is there's a lot of drag racing on the local level at Fontana. There's some at Famoso is firing back up as the summer cools down. So don't forget Saturday Night Nitro up there as well, which should be a hell of a show. We had 31 Nitro cars there last time.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing value at Famoso, going up to Auto Club Famoso Raceway on a Saturday Night Nitro. I think it's 17th of September. I haven't got that number in front of me, but boy, there's still some great drag racing going on. And watch IHRA on the internet, and come back. We'll see you again next month for one more shot from the West Coast Funny Car Factory.
There you go. Well, you can see tomorrow, Industry Hills. You got a big race there. It starts at 6. They got a band out there. Racing starts at 7. Come out there. We'll throw you on the Speed Scene live show. Get you behind the camera, and we'll have a great time out there. One thing I want to say in passing, Roger Garton, the Warhorse funny car driver, went to his funeral at the NHRA Museum. Great guy. We're going to miss him, and he was a class act. Godspeed.
Hey, good to see you guys in the studio again, the studios of the West Coast Funny Car Factory.
Wait a second, Bruce. I got one thing I forgot to mention.
Let's do it.
Next show in the month of September, we will be debuting the new West Coast Funny Car Factory T-shirt from Stiff Printing.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
And, they'll be available. We'll be making a fortune on it. So, who needs sponsors after that, right?
Boy, that's the truth.
But a lot of people have asked about them. Okay, 3 people have asked about them, but we're going to do.
Let's see, it was you and I and Kevin asked if we were going to pay him to print them. Yeah, that was the 3.
But Stiff Printing up in Nevada, they're going to be doing a new T-shirt for us, and we'll have it done probably to show at the next West Coast Funny Car Factory Speed Scene show.
Some of the best artwork and T-shirts out there,
and including the shirts that we wear.
Dang, those are fine.
So thanks for watching, everybody. Good Vibrations, Aeromotive, and Bruce Barker.
Oh, yeah, that guy
the trio.
Speed Scene Live TV. The #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFote.com.